I'm recording. Okay, so episode 2. I think today we should discuss top favorite artists
of all time.
of all time. Yeah, so like a top 10 rapper list and then like a all-time favorite list as well.
That's too hard for me.
For
I mean, I could do like my favorites, but I don't want to. I
you
can't
you
rank
can't
them.
narrow it down.
I can narrow it down, but I can't rank them.
Right, okay, like what about just top 10 like no order?
But then it's like I have mine separated into my top 10 like right now, and then my top 10 of all time. Like right now, I'm picking like stupid shit like Love Foe, Saw Baby, Summers, whatever.
Well,
And then if I do all time, I have to go through my whole life and music that has like impacted me like in my early years, my mid years, and where I am now.
that's kind of how I did mine. It's like my top I couldn't narrow it down to 10, so I did like the top 15 and like that's well basically like I'm so basic that I don't even have that many artists that I could say inspired me that way. I mean, when it
Hmm.
comes to rappers, at least, like, okay, my top 15 list, number 15 is Travis Scott.
Hmm.
I would have loved to place him higher, but there's like a little bit of me holding back because there's controversy about him stealing some beats before.
Man, I don't give a fuck about
I
none of that.
know, I
Let that
know.
nigga
I
steal.
don't. The only thing that like kind of tweaks me about it is that what if he did, and like this whole personality or like the whole production style that I love from him isn't even his. Like that would.
Well, that's actually what it is. Like the Travis Scott style of production. That's Mike Dean. That's Wonder
Well, yeah,
Girl.
like we obviously know that. Like, okay, it's K Cudi, it's Kanye, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like we get that.
I mean, he does work on the beats. So like, there's that. But I don't think he's contributing anything that significant.
Okay. Well, still, my heart won't let me place him at least higher than the other people that are on my list. Number 14, I do not want to be judged for this, but it is J. Cole.
No, he's in my top. He's up there for me too.
Yeah, I feel like no, like I feel like with Twitter, it's like, oh my god, J Cole, like the whole anti J Cole Twitter phase is like one thing about it, and then also like I feel like in the last couple of years he has become pretty cringy with his
Hmm.
coming for like new artists like Lil Peep, Lil Pump and shit.
No, no, no. That he's been absolved of those crimes because he did the Revenge of the Dreamers. He had people like let me look it up. Like that album was actually one of my favorite albums. I think it dropped this year.
Yeah, I mean I appreciate a lot of his work. Like even throughout his anti J Cole phase, I never really jumped on the bandwagon. I was just kind of silent about it because like I don't know, like I like his music. Like he's one of the artists, like select few artists that I like where it doesn't matter what kind of era they're in, I'm always gonna support and fuck with it just because it's
Hmm.
them. So that's why he's at that placement. Just because of the stigma around liking J. Cole. Number
Uh,
13, what was you gonna say?
for the Revenge of the Dreamers album, this is important. This is important moment in hip hop history. He had like okay, so he had this whole phase with like talking about the young niggas and shit and all the mumble rap,
Hmm.
but then he went turned around. He got the baby. I'm just gonna list off the people who like fit in our generation. So the baby, Young Nudie.
Yeah.
He got Key, Maso Cream, Young Bands. Uh, who else? Smino. Like, well, they don't really count, but I like Smino a
I
lot.
like Smino too.
He
I love
got
him.
Vince Staples. He's showing us that like he doesn't hate the young kids and he can make music with niggas like
But in
us.
the same breath, a lot of those people that you've named are people who can actually like fuck what they say about the baby, fuck what they say about Vince or whoever. Like those people that can actually like rap, like they can actually sit there and like write bars and da da da. Like they're not just fucking mumbling, which is the rappers that J Cole is specifically gunning for. Like the that nigga Lil Peep. got on the song and what was that song he did where it was like one line he said all the time, like throughout the entire song.
Wasn't it Lil Pump?
It was a Lil Pump song. Lil Pump. It was a fucking song by Lil Pump, and like he just said one line throughout the entire duration of the song.
Or Gucci Gang?
Yeah, Gucci Gang. Like
But Lil Pump has been doing that. Like I remember being in high school, singing like "Take a nigga bitch to the movies" just over and over
I
again.
know,
That's the only
I
line,
love
and
Lil
it's
Pump. Like I had no personal problems against him, but that's
okay.
what J Cole was calling out. He was calling out the rappers who do that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. And so like your list of like who he put on his new album, that's doesn't really fit because those rappers on those lists, people who can actually like yeah they're still new and like relevant, but they can actually like fucking rhyme. Like they're not doing what Lil Pump did. Okay, like Lil Pump, Lil Perp, all that entire wave of niggas who came out of Florida at the same time, and like people who jumped on that bandwagon and like got influenced after them. They birthed a whole bunch of fucking. I don't even call them mum rappers, but they just birthed a whole bunch of okay, let's make a song that's just gonna get catchy and go viral. Like that whole
Mm-hmm.
X Wi-Fi funeral, Steam Mask, SoundCloud, like that whole wave they created just break a lot of niggas, and I feel like that's who J Cole was talking about. So yeah, but that's that. My number 13 on the list though is Vince Staples. I love a lot of his projects. I think he's from Long Beach. I'm pretty sure he's from Long Beach. It's like Long Beach or Carson or something. But like the cities that he's from was like pretty close to where I grew up. So I relate to like a lot of his lyrics when he talks about like just his shit, whatever the fuck. Um, he's like probably one of my favorite lyricists. Like today I was just thinking about when he said, my burner gets stuck if I shoot it too much, so a nigga resorted to Domin. Like he has lines like that where it's just like that shit was cold. And yeah, I love a lot of his lyrics. Um his projects, I don't really follow most of his projects. I like his features better than his own projects. I did listen to Big Fish Theory and I liked how he experimented with like kind of electronic EDM producers like Flume. He worked
I
with a lot of
fucking love
he worked with
Flume.
Sophie. She does like industrial experimental music as well. Like she produces that kind of stuff. Like the album was very out the box. So
Did you listen to
what's that other album he did? Like Summertime something.
Summertime?
The one with Ramona
I remember
Park
he
something
had
Ramona Park
Future
Legends.
on
I
one
don't
of
know
them songs. That shit was
the
hard.
actual name of the album. But the album that like his popular songs like North North, Rita and stuff like that, that was a pretty good album. I'm not sure if that was his first or second album, but that was a pretty good project. But yeah, like Vince would be ranked higher, but I just have so many artists on this list who are like just so great to me. So
Mm-hmm.
that's like where he had to be ranked. Like I couldn't put him any higher than that.
It's Summertime
Do you have any
06.
thoughts on that rank?
No, that's good.
Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't put Vince Staples that high on me because, like, yeah, I'm familiar with his music, but I've never been like a big fan.
What really put me on to Vince Staples is I found him before he dropped North North. So like what really put me on to Vince Staples was Doors album by Earl Sweatshirt.
Yeah.
Heck, he was featured on a lot of songs in the album, and like some of the, and even I don't like shit on the outside, which dropped in like 2015. Like his features with Earl, like I love them as a rap. Like they're not a rap duo, of course, but I love them when they're on a song together because they both just like make each other go harder on the song. So like my favorite songs by both of them are songs where they're featured on the same track because like they just go hella hard, and that would make me a fan of Vince and like his lyricism and stuff. Um, Number 12 on my list is Megan. She is still relatively new. She's only like about say about like 3 years like being in a public's eye, but she's been doing music for longer than that. Um, Megan is a given. Like she's a very great lyricist. Especially like in the last let's say 5 or so years, a lot of rappers' focus hasn't really been on lyricism or storylining and stuff has mainly been about like, okay, what can I say that's like the catchiest that's gonna get radio play? Like what can I say that's like commercial that is gonna sell, that's gonna like sell records and sell at concerts and shit. Like what can I say to like be catchy or whatever the fuck. And like you don't have like a lot of artists today who are like actually just like hard as hell, like the hard as flow, like just coming hard, especially for like women rappers as well. Like the women rappers we've been having in the past years that are not Nicki Minaj have all been kind of the same, like the same bubble. Not I'm gonna say bubblegum rap, but the same like okay, like you know how you have the men rappers who talk about the same topics like money or bitches or like jewelry or cars and shit.
Mm-hmm.
On the
Yeah.
women's side of that, it's like okay, we're gonna talk about sex, we're gonna talk about like niggas and like the city girls
And
and
my
stuff.
pussy.
And Megan still does that, but like her music is filled. Like she still has bars. Like she's not just saying the
Mm-hmm.
same line over and over again. Like she's not. I don't know. Like she's a very good writer, and I love that she can freestyle. That's what puts her like like I said, as same as everybody else on the list. Earlier, reason why she's not higher is because I have so many people on this list. But with Megan, I love her for the fact that she is like a very good freestyler. We haven't really had many artists, men or women, like freestyling like that as of late, and like ripping the fucking freestyle. And like seeing her, especially be a woman, and like come and bring that back, especially at a time where like people were kind of, which I feel like with Drake and with Cardi and the controversy surrounding them with freestyling, I feel like people were kind of letting it go. Like, oh, if they don't write their own raps, it doesn't even matter if the shit bangs. It bangs. Who cares if they wrote it? And like, I feel like that was becoming a thing, and
No, I hate that shit. Like when I found out Beyonce was the first person I found out didn't write her own music, and when I found that out, it literally it tore my world apart. And then I went up doing research and shit, and I found out like there's like all the big artists like 9 times out of 10 they got a whole writing team,
yeah,
and
like a whole writing
it
camp.
really broke my heart. It takes some of the magic away.
Yeah. So like I said, like yeah, like hearing artists like be put on the spot like that, especially that time when like that kind of was people were like letting that shit go, and like hearing Megan come back and rip her first like few freestyles she did on like radio stations and stuff. That shit was like hard. Like she's hard as hell. So even though like she's still kind of new to being mainstream and like new to music, she's like she has secured her spot in my top 15. Hopefully, as the years go on, she ranks up higher. Um, but yeah, love her. Number 11, I'm actually really comfortable with this placement. I wouldn't put him lower or higher, but number 11 is actually going to be Denny Brown for me.
Nice.
I discovered Denny Brown, I think I was like 11 or 12, and that's how long I've been listening to him. And like, he's just crazy. Like, he's like the best kind of crazy. Like, he's a very good lyricist. Like, no, he's a very good storyteller. Like, he's amazing all around.
Yeah, he put me on to Skywalker, and
Mhm,
he's like one of my favorite producers.
mhm.
Cause he you know the song Car Service with Wiz Khalifa and Currency. It had
Yeah.
that sample that we were talking about. He
Mhm.
produced that, and he produced Toxic with Danny Brown and Childish Gambino, and that was like my freshman year anthem.
Yeah. Like he is so hard, and he doesn't really get. I'm not gonna say recognition, but he doesn't get as much respect, or like he doesn't get the same attention that a lot of people that came around him does. Like okay, like if you want to say Chance the Rapper, and I'm like gonna bring.
Schoolboy Q.
Yeah, like Schoolboy Q, Chance the Rapper, like all these other rappers he came up around the same time as Danny did. He didn't really last as long in like the main light, and he didn't really get as much hype as they did as well. Like, come on, nigga, Chance the Rapper.
He used to be so
I
good though.
know. No,
That
no,
like
first of all, he was never good. Let's say that. The best song that Chance the Rapper had was the song he did with SZA. But outside of that, like the fact that today Chance the Rapper is more relevant than Danny Brown. Even Schoolboy
don't say
Q.
he was never good, cause Acid Rap was is a perfect album.
Okay, I'm not gonna do. I never listened. I never fully gave Acid Rap Coloring Book.
Okay,
I never
exactly. So
gave those a
stop.
full
No,
listen.
not coloring book. Fuck coloring book. just acid rap and Tender.
I never gave those albums a full listen, so I cannot truly speak for it. But what I have heard from Chance the Rapper around that time, I never saw it. I never saw people liked him.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, the only song that I fucked with by him was with SZA. It was Child's Play by SZA. Only that. Like outside of that, it's like
You should you should listen to You Song with Chance the Rapper and Lil Wayne.
I've probably heard it before if it has Lil Wayne on it.
It's it's off of it's one of his mixtapes. Oh, and don't cancel me for this, but Logic used to be really good too.
I believe it. I'm not gonna like shit on Logic. Like I feel like the mixed kid jokes is funny, but like I never gave Logic's music a listen, but I wouldn't be closed off to it. He just doesn't grasp my attention. I don't see him,
Yeah,
and I'd be like, "Well, I want to listen to him." Like, I don't hear none of his features, and be like, "Damn, that shit was hard. Let me go check out this artist." Like, that's all I find a lot of people I listen to, and I never had that moment with him. But if you fuck with Logic, that's cool.
his first album was it's actually perfect. It's up there with acid rap with me.
Now that you said that, I'll probably go back and like give it a quick listen. I honestly I don't know if I'm gonna like it though because I just don't know what to expect. Like the only thing I know about Logic besides like the memes around him is he did that suicide awareness song, and I
Mm-hmm.
never listened to it, but the concept alone it just seemed very cringy. It's like those fucking tweets where you see, okay guys, mental health check, and it's like a thread of like just breathe, count to 10.
Mm-hmm. The Logic I know never made that song.
Like that's just what I think about when I think about that song. So like it's just it's just bad energy like for my feelings for him. So I never gave him a chance.
I understand.
Number 10 on my list is a rap duo or a rap group. It's not really a single artist. So it's NWA.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up like listening to like my brothers used to play Easy E, Ice Cube and shit. Like I grew up listening to them, especially being from Compton. Um NWA though, like I actually got the chance to get older and like go back and listen to their music for myself. And there's like Ice Cube's writing, and as you can see right now, like I love people who can write. I envy that so much, and Ice Cube was a very good writer for them. Um, I really can't stand Dr. Dre for being an abuser, but he made good beats. He
Yeah,
he
it was
he
revolutionary.
was very good at like chopping up samples and stuff. Like he was very good. Like he was goaded for that, but still fuck him for beating up Michelle and his other baby mamas. But
And his gay ass headphones.
yeah, and
I mean,
R.I.P.
I got some on right now,
Yeah, oh fuck you. I was actually gonna order some, but Apple bought the
don't do it.
meltdown. Apple bought the meltdown.
But they been bought them out.
I know, like he doesn't own a company anymore, so I wouldn't feel bad buying the headphones now.
But the Apple like the Apple headphones that they're gonna drop, they look kind of ugly.
Well, they have like my favorite color is yellow, so they have like these yellow
Mm-hmm.
headphones that are blue on the inside, and I feel like those look pretty hard, and they're like cheap now. They're like 150. So yeah. Okay, next on my list, and I swear to God, like once again, he would be ranked so much higher. But after this artist, like all of the artists on here, are, like just bangers after bangers after bangers. Like it was so hard to make this list. But number 9 is Tupac. I love him so much. Like I've listened to him since I was young. I like heard him growing up all the time. People always talk about Tupac, of course. Um, but like I said, I got to get older, and I got to go back and like listen to his music for myself. And he was a fucking artist. Like he had the entire package, the entire it factor. Like that nigga was a
Yeah.
fucking artist. And I know it's like probably cringy with people like, I miss old rap, I miss old school, I miss Tupac and Biggie. I hate these new rappers. I know it's annoying people say that, but when they say it about Tupac though, like they have their point because like he was really a fucking like he was all that in a bag of chips. So I'll give him that. Number 8 on my list is Rico Nasty. I feel like she's kind of like right now. Okay, I'll say two things about Rico Nasty. One, I feel like out of the entire rap group of girls she came up with, like the girls that was popular when she was first coming up, like Asian Doll, Cuban Doll, Valley Baby, Molly Breezy, what's that other dark skinned girl name? Rocky. I think that's the name. I don't know. But like all these girls that came up around the same time, Rico, probably Asian, but not really because like music isn't really going anywhere. She's just like a influencer now. Rico's the only person who has actually like surpassed all of them.
Mm-hmm.
She's successfully broken into like being mainstream. I mean, probably like not super mainstream, like not on the same level as like Megan Breakout or the babies probably, but she's like doing like she's holding her place, like she's holding it down for herself. She's doing pretty good. I've just always loved her. Like she brought an entire new sound. Like I feel like Rico is somebody who years from now we're literally gonna be looking back and like giving her the recognition that we give Soulja Boy. Like I don't know. I feel like
Like influence wise.
influence wise, yes. Like as far as like style and flow and like her not even just her rap style, but also her like her artist style. Like when okay, like in that entire year, like 2015, 2016, 2017, how you had like I said, like the niggas like X and Denzel Curry and like the whole Florida rap wave. I feel like Rico was really setting a whole new wave at the same time. Like if you look at how many copycats she has right now, like trying to yell on track and like be super aggressive and like find that Rico X Kenny duo, like she's like hella fucking
Right.
hard. Like she,
There's hella like TikTok songs blowing up now where
yeah,
it's like it sounds like it's Rico Nasty, but it's not because it doesn't sound good.
exactly. Like I don't know. I feel people are not gonna really see it because she's still not very known in the mainstream lights. People are gonna be like not knowing what the fuck we're talking about. And I really feel like this is gonna be something like 4 or 5 years from now. People are gonna be like, oh yep, that was all Rico. And she's gonna like get her flowers then. But she's like hella hard, and I always fuck with her.
Is she gonna pull like a Doja Cat and kind of like Doja Cat's been around for a while
Doja
and then she
Cat's
kind of
yeah, Doja Cat's been around since like
reinvented
at
herself?
least 2012. But
Yeah.
even Doja Cat, like I feel like Doja Cat. I probably shouldn't say this, but I feel like Doja Cat's just like getting her hype because she's light skinned with a fat ass. If Rico had a fat ass and some big titties, she would be like probably right next to her. But Rico
I mean
also,
that
well,
that cow video really brought her
it
back.
did, it literally did. I
And when I found out it wasn't just some cute girl like playing around on her laptop, like I knew who she was before that, but when I found out she just wasn't chilling at the house and decided to do it, when I found out she had a whole production team putting that together for it to be a meme, it's like, okay, I get it, you're smart and everything, but still, like, I wish it was just you. I wish you just came up with that by yourself and you was just messing around
I
instead of
don't
you trying to pick our brains and
no
just be
no
viral.
no. I still fuck with Doja because like I fuck with Doja so much. Like she's very smart, and I'm not gonna say that. I feel like she just studies the fucking internet, and like this is something
Yeah.
that she's been doing since like she first came out. Like she fucking studies the internet, and like she just knows how to utilize it to put herself further. So I'm not mad at her. Actually, she's not even on my list, but I just had like no room. Sorry, but I would put her on here if I had. I, I, I would put her on here if I had room. Um, next on my list, I don't know how you. I don't know if you ever talked about this. We have talked about like Paper Cardigan shit and like his awful days, but I don't know if you like talked about Father or like other awful people
We talked
specifically.
about
We
father.
had because I
Yeah.
fucking love Father. Like he's number 7 on my list.
Number 7.
Yes, number like okay. Let me rephrase that. Let's go back. Okay, I was like super depressed in like 2014, 2015, 2016. There was like there was like 5 people who I played back to back to back like for 2 years straight. 5 people I played all the albums back to back to back. And like these next people on my list are like definitely some of those people. Father is probably like number 2 or 1 or 3 of those people that I like played all the time. Like Who's Gonna Get Fucked First, Young Hunt, Ebony, like all I did was just play that nigga music. And he makes the perfect
Look at
like,
wrist.
huh?
Look at wrist.
Yeah, like he makes the perfect. I'm depressed, but I'm just gonna ignore my depression and party it out. Like I'm gonna
Hmm.
drink away my tears and like have a party to just like not worried about the tears. Like I don't know, like he just makes the perfect depressive, but like I don't know, he just makes the perfect music for like being depressed, but like not suicide. Like not all sad and mopey and suicidal depressed, but just like when you just get to the point where like you're just self deprecating, it's like fuck my life to be like I don't really give a fuck what happens at this point. Like he makes a perfect soundtrack for that. So that's why I'll always fuck with Father. You know, like honestly the whole awful I listen to like everybody in awful and like they all like have a special place in my heart. But Father, he will always be number one when it comes to them. Um Number six on my list is like some childish shit. Little Wayne.
No, that's respectable.
Yeah, I couldn't make this without him being top 10. Like Little Wayne is just so he's he's probably what made me want to rap. Like listening to his mixtape, Sorry for the Wait, I Am Not a Human Being, like just he it's the fact that like a lot of the songs that came up around the time that he dropped his mixtapes, the fact that I'm gonna sing his version first before I sing the actual original, like that
Mm-hmm.
speaks for itself. Yeah, that's all I have to say. He's just amazing. I used to be like so obsessed with him. Oh my god! And I used to like ship him and Nikki together, but they never got together. But it's okay. But yeah, number
Now that's
five,
kind of that would be weird because like the whole dynamic where it's like I'm bringing you under my wing, but it seems more of a I wouldn't say fatherly daughter, but more of a like
big brother, little sister.
yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I can see it, but I don't know. I just thought they're like they did a lot of songs together, but they like would have very flirty lyrics aiming at each other. So I saw it, but I
Mm-hmm.
would rather her and Wayne be together than her and Drake.
I don't want Drake to ever find happiness with a woman.
He doesn't deserve it. He doesn't deserve it at all. Number five on my list is Kendrick Lamar. He would be higher,
Yes.
yeah, like he would be higher as well. But like I said, everybody else on this list is like bangers. Kendrick, of course, he dropped Damn, he dropped Tip of a Butterfly, Good Kid, Mad City. Those are just masterpieces. They're all masterpieces. Even the title, like they're all just masterpieces. And I love him so much for that. He was like another soundtrack to like my very depressive years. So yeah, that's why he's that number. Number four is Kanye. We were just talking about this like this last week or so, but Kanye has to be top five on this list. Like he has to be like that. Like he is a god. I don't care what nobody says. He is a god. Yes,
He said it himself.
yes. Like he has full claims. If he wants to like go up and like be a Trump supporter and be a little dumbass, he has that right. Just because he worked for us for so long, he gave us so much that like you know what, go do what you want to do now. So that's why he secured that spot for me. Um, Top three. Coming at number three is Earl Sweatshirt.
Wait, is Tyler gonna be your number one?
Why are you doing that?
Oh, I just wanted to ask.
No, he's not. How about that?
How about number two?
No, he's not. How about that?
Okay.
So okay,
I just had a feeling.
since
I feel
I
like it's gonna be like Nicki Minaj and it's gonna be Tyler.
can I do my list? Can I do my list? Can I do my list? Okay, so I already talked about why Earl Sweatshirt is like my favorite when I was talking about Vince, so I'm gonna skip him. Number two, motherfucker, is I hate you so much. Number two is Nicki Minaj.
Of course. I'm surprised she not number one.
Well, okay, the only reason she's not number one is because Tyler is and the only reason why Tyler is number one is because his his entire like even his odd future tape, his entire discography is just like perfect. Like it's okay, and I say this all the time that he drops an album specifically, but every time he drops an album, his album completely relates to whatever I'm going through at that time in my life. Like when he dropped Bastard, Goblin, Wolf, Cherry Bomb, Cherry Bomb does not give none of the recognition that it deserves. Like Smuckers,
Eh, fuck Cherry Bomb.
you don't like Cherry Bomb?
I never cared for it.
Oh, you need to go back and listen to Cherry Bomb. Like that
Alright, I will.
album. See, that's why me personally, I'm so happy that like I really gave all this like whenever he comes out with a new album, new sound, I'm so happy I always give that shit a chance because like he doesn't know how to make flops. He doesn't know how. Like he just makes hits after hits after hits. Like he's so amazing. And fuck you for guessing the rest of my fucking list.
It just made sense as soon as you said Earl. Like I just had a feeling because it's like, okay,
Like
there's
he's
no
like,
Nicki
okay, where's
Minaj.
Nikki? Okay, where's Tyler?
Exactly.
I hate you. Why can't you just let me say it though?
Sorry.
Thank you. Now when you do your list, I'm gonna fucking ruin it for you too.
Uh, well, I have to create a list because if I start now, it's gonna be all over the place. I mean, I do have some people
Well,
that
okay,
are.
like you can make different lists. Like I had a top that was my top 10 rappers. I have like all time top 10 like singers or rappers, all time top 10. I have a top 10 bands, top 10 groups. Like I like had to break that shit up into like I have like top 10 rap albums, um, all time top 10 albums. Like I have like that shit very detailed. But yeah.
Well, I I'll just throw some out there that are very high for me.
Okay.
First one I'm gonna bring up is Party Next Door
Okay. Okay.
because I really enjoy his music.
Hmm.
I've never heard any music that sounds like his.
Okay.
And when I say Party Next Door, I'm thinking about Party Next Door 1 and 2 cuz
Obviously.
those albums were like, yeah, it's just they're perfect.
Yeah.
Uh I'm under the impression that he produced most of it. I don't know. I don't know if the part. I don't know if that's his producer tag or something, or if that's just his intro. If he did produce these songs, that just makes me like him so much more.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
I know, like, as it progresses, he produces less and less. But these first two albums, like, the production is new, it's fresh. The Toronto scene is just crazy with like all the artists they bring out, except for Nav. I mean, I like Nav. I was on him for
You like
a long
Nav?
time, but yeah.
Okay. No further words.
Uh, listen, when Nav dropped up, like that song really, it really changed me. It really changed
Okay.
me. It was a really
You
good
know
song.
what? You know what? I never even listened to Russ either, and I thought Russ made completely different kind of music than he actually does. So, like, I only heard about Nav and Russ from Twitter, so and Logic too. So I'll have to like give them a fair chance one of these days. That day is no time soon, though. But
When Travis Scott dropped Biebs in the Trap, I actually thought Nav was Justin Bieber. Like in the beginning, he sounded just like him, but then
they
he
do
started
sound
talking
alike.
about like got some pussy niggas all up in their feelings, and I'm
And
like,
he was
wait
like,
a
I hope
minute.
that's not Justin.
I wasn't even mad at Justin. I was mad at Travis because it's like, of course your coon ass would allow some shit like that.
My God.
But anyway,
Hey,
Travis
hey,
Scott is also
you can't be talking about Travis Scott like that. Like he's a fellow tourist. Like you gotta back up off him.
no. I'm an OG Travis fan. I've been around for the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's why he's also in my top
Oh,
10.
dang. Okay, he is on my list. Okay, because Rodeo is such a. I was just
It's
listening
a
to
classic,
Rodeo. Like, that's definitely a
and you
classic.
gotta listen to it straight through. And you just can't skip
And
around.
bro,
You can't
I
shuffle it.
do. I
It's an
do.
experience.
Like Maria, I'm drunk. Pornography. Like that album is everything. Rodeo.
Piss on Your Grave is actually like one of my favorites, and I know like nobody really cared for it, but that beat was really hard. And also, I don't know why everybody got so jaded with Antidote, cause like I know it became a radio hit and it got annoying, but like
That song never got
I don't know,
annoying
I
for
get
me. I love that music video for Rodeo. I mean, for Antidote. I
yeah,
love that song.
cause I feel like I gotta support Wonder Girl. Like she's like in my top three producers of
At
all
the
time.
night show, anything can
Like
happen at the
literally,
night
she's never
show.
produced a bad song.
At the night
But
show.
anyway,
Ooh, at
also
the
I
night
got
show.
and you're gonna not like me for this,
That
but
was such a good song.
I got Future because Future is a very good artist, and
Yes.
he plays a numbers game.
I mean, I just
He
like to joke
releases a
on
lot of
Future.
albums.
I just like to joke on Future because he's like obviously very misogynistic and annoying and stuff, and it's like the memes about him are funny. But no, he's legit. He's a really good artist. He's fun and he's cute. He's tall too.
I used to never care for like back in that was a long time ago. Back in like 2013, I think. No, yeah, 2013 when he was like with Pluto 3D. I wasn't a fan, but then he dropped Honest, and I started getting into it, and then Monster, and
Mhm.
then Beast Mode, Street Classic, 56 Nights got some of my most favorite songs on it, and then Dirty Sprite 2 was like that was a game changer.
Yeah.
That was really a game changer. But then there's some albums of his that I never even give a second listen to. Like Evil, I didn't that was probably his worst album. I don't know what Southside was thinking with that production, but it was like more abrasive than usual. And like I love the hard beats, but like it just didn't feel good to my ears. The only good song off of there was Wicked, and that was already released. I think that was a single, so I don't even count that. And then next we got Mr. 21 himself. Uh yeah. And I got put on to 21 by old man. He was he played Skirt Skirt for me, and it just changed my life.
I mean, that's the thing with 21 Savage. I noticed that a lot of like older people, like older black men, like my Tony was fucking Tony like 28. He was playing that nigga in the
Don't
car.
call Tony a older black man.
He's 28.
But still,
Not an older black man, is he not?
when you say older black man, I'm thinking 30s and 40s.
Bro, he's damn near 30.
He not there yet. But anyway,
I
yeah.
was just,
So
I was,
the Slaughter Tape Instant Street Classic, Slaughter King Instant Street Classic, Savage Mode is a trap classic. Uh, Without Warning is probably in my top 3 albums of all time
mm-hmm.
with him and Offset,
Bro,
which brings me to the next person.
boobs.
Who?
Killer.
Yeah, she has some massive honkers.
Fish on me.
Wait, how do you know? On Wait, where did she post it?
Oh my god, that's weird.
I'm just playing. Okay, I'm going to Twitter. No, I'm playing. Anyway, uh, so after 21, we got Offset. Offset is that's why I'm not saying the Migos because out of all the Migos, Offset is my favorite. Girl, quit playing.
The bunch.
I
So
don't care if Quavo never cheated in his life and he go to church every Sunday. He's not as good as Offset.
I miss my granny. I'm sorry.
No, the even funnier thing was when he was pretending his Twitter was hacked and he was saying shit like balls in my face and shit. Like,
No, the
you really
funniest,
think
the funniest thing he did was when Cardi did the video and Cardi came into the room and this
like
nigga sat on his phone. Like,
it's like, bro, you're on live to tens of thousands of people. You don't think she gonna see this eventually? He's so stupid.
I wasn't surprised when he found out that he cheated again. Because, like, this nigga sat on his phone, like, you know he's up to no good.
At least have 2 phones. But yeah, Offset, he's up there for me. We got Doo-Wop Kane,
Okay.
and I know most of like as a hardcore fan, most of his music is fucking ass. Like I would say 90% of his songs are ass. He released Underdog in 2018 and he still hasn't topped it. and he's dropped 3 albums since. And I can only listen to about 2 songs off of all 3 of those albums. But Underdog is a perfect listen all the way through. Like there's no need for a skip, and the final track is probably the best one on there. And then after Do Up, we got who else we got? I want to put Love for up there because no artist has made me so obsessed with their music like he has.
That's understandable.
Like
That's
I'm talking about an obsession.
hmm
Because I made a playlist of all my favorite songs by him, and it's like 2.5 hours long, and it's like I don't know another artist where it's like my favorite songs by them could make a playlist that long. But No Hooks 1 and 2 are instant classics, and like there's only a couple throwaways. Now when he starts singing and shit, that's when I kind of is like, all right, I don't want to hear no hood love story or none of that. I don't want to hear the auto tune singing. But when he's not doing that, he's at top of his game. And I like G Herb. No, I'm not gonna put G Herbo on my list. Uh, who else? Uh, oh yeah, Psy Baby. I almost forgot. I mean, we talked about him a lot last episode, but Psy Baby is definitely up there for me. I probably would put him a little higher on my list just because of how much I listen to his music. Um, let's see. Valley is one of my tops too because like it's all about his cadence. Um, and he does a lot of work with Chasing Money, and Chasing Money
I
is one of
love
my
chasing
favorite
money.
producers. And I don't think he's ever made a bad beat.
Chasing money, chasing money. Like he's a very
And
great producer.
very great. Uh, I think we should do a producer list next.
I know, like you mentioned that, and now I have to go and make a producers list because, boy, that'll be like really hard to do. Probably harder than like a top 10 rapper list.
Yeah, and then Young Nudie also, because when I first started listening to him, that was back in 2017 when he dropped EA, like the song EA with 21 Savage. That put me on,
How
and
long, nigga?
since I was like 13. Anyway,
Wait, you're
like
like going along with the song, right?
no, since I no yes I was going with
He's
the song.
in the song. That's the lyric, bro.
Yeah, I know that's the lyric. Since I was like 13, nigga. He sound like the meatball off of.
Why did you do that so good?
Uh, but yeah, I like probably the main reason I like him is because I can do his voice. I can make fun of him. But
On six, maybe made bigger states that bitches can't
nigga
understand.
getting hit. Put a nigga on. Anyway,
Nigga, bro.
uh,
Never fall
with like his
laughing.
first 3 albums, it was like straight Pierre Bourne, and Pierre is one of my top producers too.
Yes.
And now he has made some bad beats. There's this song off of you remember that Big Sean album he produced with that Metro produced for him?
Think so. Do you know a song that was an album?
Pull Up and Wreck was the single from there.
Let me see. They showed extra movie. Um, yeah, this album must have been like Boo because I don't see
Very
not one
forgettable.
song that I recognize.
Pull Up and Wreck is good though. But there's a song on there that Pierre produced with Metro. It was like The Reason or something. And that's
Yeah,
probably
yeah, it
like
was Whaley.
yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know what the fuck he was thinking. Uh but back to Young Nudie. He really is consistent. He did Slime Air with Pierre. That was last year. And that was just a smooth, sexy album. And then he released the album this year anyways, and like he really showed that he's here for the long haul. He I don't know. He's consistent, and also on my list is I almost said Beach House. Let me chill out. Mm, Isaiah Rashad for sure.
Hmm.
Uh, I think SZA put me on to him with
Yeah,
Warm
they
Winds.
used to do songs together, but
Their chemistry is amazing.
I don't know. I feel like Isaiah Rashad is a little bit of a bitch. Like I've heard some shit went down between him and SZA, and not sure if I'm much of a fan of him afterwards.
What shit went down?
Like this happened years ago, but I just heard some shit where like somebody asked if he would ever do a song with SZA again, and he was like no, and he was like talking shit about her. He said something. I don't know. He said something about her being a hoe or something.